Super Bowl 55. Oh my God. The hype was not real with this one. The disappointment was just as it was as disappointing as 2 years ago when the Rams played the Patriots. Everybody thought it was going to be a great Super Bowl, and what happened? Defensive struggle. So if you like defense, oh, it was a great Super Bowl. If you're a normal person, then it was trash. Just not what we expected as a whole. I mean, Justin, you did say the Buccaneers would win, but like, there's no way you're like, the Chiefs aren't gonna score a touchdown. I mean,
I told you.
What happened?
I told you. The matchup to watch was that defensive front of the Buccaneers versus that makeshift offensive line of the Chiefs. They like to throw those long-winded downfield passes, but you can't have that develop if you don't have the time in the pocket to throw the fucking ball. Mm-hmm. Missing both his tackles, his starting guard had already opted out of the season. Mm-hmm. The guard that replaced him also got injured. Mm-hmm. Literally, these guys had to practice all 5 positions on the line just to be ready. Yep. This man was running for his life the entire game. And because the Bucs were able to get pressure on him, rushing 4, they're able to double Tyreek Hill and double Kelsey.
Yeah.
But it's nice being right.
I said the Chiefs, but I had a couple days to think about it after that. I ended up flipping to the Bucs and then putting money on the game for the Bucs.
Oh, thanks for not telling me.
We didn't want you on our boat.
Thanks for
I
not
wasn't on the
me.
boat. What you mean? 2 days later, I changed my opinion. So I was like, you know what? I got way too much confidence in this Bucs team. Just look at the stats. First of all, I got like a few stats. Mahomes pressured on 29 of 56 passing plays. Brady, 30 pass plays, 4 pressures. Mm-hmm. Mahomes had the most pressures ever. He ran for 500 yards.
I try to tell y'all.
Backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And he was lacing past. Like, he had 2 of the most amazing incompletions I've ever seen in my life.
And they both should have been caught.
Back to
back. They both hit him in the face mask.
Hit the dude in the hands, but it was just a little out of bounds. Second time, he hit a dude in the face as he was horizontal, throwing like that.
Literally dove
forward. Hit Williams and Hill in the face with passes that they dropped.
Yeah.
But like I said, the Bucs had a top 5 offense and defense.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, man, is I think even they pointed it out. Just the thing is when the Chiefs do a lot of those quick motions before they snap the ball, and the Bucs were doing something that not a lot of teams do, and they were blitzing immediately on that. They didn't care, and they were just getting to Mahomes. Like, I felt bad for him because he had no protection, and then his receivers just were not getting open.
The tackle couldn't even pick up a corner on a corner blitz.
I mean, and like, I agree with both of you. Like, just looking at the game, like, I think through the first quarter or something, I was just like, Kansas City's just giving them too much respect. But, like, also Tampa Bay's defense, they were doing something that just wasn't done all season against Kansas City, and they were literally pressing them and just jamming them at the line. So with that jam and that pressure, they're like 5 yards while Patrick Mahomes is scrambling. So there's, like, nobody open ever.
But and then when you have a pass play and you know it's with the Chiefs, you know his first and second read in some order is going to be Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, or vice versa. But when you're being pressured that fast, you don't have the time to make it to your third read, who's probably one-on-one with somebody, because the Buccaneers, since they could rush 4 or 5, were able to bracket Tyreek Hill and double Kelce, one with a linebacker, and then have safety help.
Yeah, they had two deep safety for like the 94%. Game. Yeah, like 94% of the game.
That's what shocked me, is that 3rd and 33 was like the most, like, first of all, the play before that summed up the game really well, but I think the 3rd and 33 summed it up. I was like, okay, so there, I think Tony Romo, he was like, you see how deep they have those guys in coverage? They were running like Madden prevent play, and they pressured Mahomes. They made him scramble inside of the pocket on a 4-man rush. You have an advantage on that play.
Yeah.
And you're going to specifically block to give him a little bit of space. I had a friend who was watching. It was her first game of football ever. And I'm like, just so you know, the Chiefs are really good. The Bucs are just murdering them. Like, she didn't understand that.
You know what's hilarious?
What?
Kansas City, one of Kansas City's starting tackles was a tackle for Cam Newton and the Panthers when Von Miller won Super Bowl MVP that year.
Oh, fuck.
And he was just getting emasculated by JPP the entire game.
All right, hold up. I also want to say something. I put $10 on JPP to get a sack. This guy didn't get me a sack. So I love you, JPP, but fuck you, bro. Come on. You could have just made all my money back right there.
You should have listened to me. I would have given you the right bets.
Over on receiving for Kelsey, too?
Yeah, 98.5.
Bro, I would have killed a
that
parlay.
Was easy. 133.
Parlay.
Look, all right, so my parlay was obviously three things didn't hit. I put Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown.
Nah,
he should have had that touchdown.
Yeah.
Kelsey over yards, which is 98.5, easy.
Even if they're getting blown out, he was gonna have it over.
Playoff Lenny with a touchdown, easy. So basically, I really only missed on the call, which was Buccaneers +3, and the over, fucking the over, Jesus Christ.
And let's be honest here though, I would have taken the under simply because when's the last time we've seen that high scoring of a Super Bowl outside of the Pats-Eagles game?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, one of the next thing I want to talk about is like, I don't want to like people are gonna say that I'm probably gonna take something away from the Bucs. Nah, their defense played outstanding. They got pressure on Mahomes and everything. But there's just two things that stand out to me in this whole game was Kansas City receivers dropping balls that they would catch all season. And the refs just calling literally everything against Kansas City and then not against Tampa Bay. I don't know. What did you guys see about the refs on these penalties? Because I couldn't be the only one seeing that they were just throwing flags against Kansas City.
I feel like Kansas City's defense clearly isn't as good as the Bucs. And so they get away with it by doing a little bit of holding, trying to be all a press man. And sometimes it's going to get called. I feel like I was watching a show and the guy literally noted the fact that the refereeing crew for this game had called the most holding penalties, right? The lead official. So you knew that you were going to have to play a clean game if you were going to win this game. Yeah. And the defense just simply did not. And if you look at it objectively, all those penalties were actual penalties.
Yeah. They were just touchy. That was the thing. I was looking at it and I went, okay, I can see where it was. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm going to wait for the voice of reason, my Lord and Savior of a commentator, Tony Romo, and Gene Steratore. I'm like, I want to see what they think, right?
I can't take Gene Steratore serious.
No, I know.
Like he'll just say
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was waiting to hear what they had to say, and they were like, "Oh yeah," like Romo was the one I really cared about. He's like, "Yeah, he was a quarterback, and he probably had some of the shittiest calls go against him sometimes, but he was like, yeah, that was clear." But then again, where was the moment on the Bucs defense where you saw them really holding? No, they had good double coverage down the field on Tyreek. They were breaking up passes. They were clean. They were playing clean. And I always go back to, yeah, your defense sucked, but like maybe don't let Gronk look like he's 24 again.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. It definitely seemed like if you were like from afar, as if the Bucs genuinely had a home field advantage.
Yeah.
As far as like how the calls were going. But once you saw the replay, you're like, I see where these calls are coming from.
Yeah.
I want to point out 3 flags. I don't know, Mike, if you want to add these in while I'm talking.
I will.
The Mike Evans one, where when I look at that, I don't see no jersey pull or nothing. I just see
which one? The one where Tyrann Mathieu got called, or the one where the guy tripped him?
No, well, actually, I was gonna come back to that, but I don't know if it was Tyrann Mathieu, but it was like the comeback, and it was 3rd down. And I didn't really see anything. I think actually, it was the interception when Tyrann Mathieu and Mike Evans just went up the side. It wasn't even for Mike Evans, but I didn't see no jersey pull or nothing. So I don't know if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
the one that got tipped and the Honey Badger picked it. Yeah. Somebody else on like a different route held the guy when he was trying to break inside.
No, it's Mike Evans on the outside.
It was Mike Evans on the outside?
Yeah, they called it on him. But when you look at the replay, I don't see no like literal jersey pull. I just see him just touching him. They're calling holding. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
The thing is that you can jam somebody within 5 yards, which I feel like that's where Kansas City is like their bread and butter as far as when they go like press man. So like if you're trying to make a break as far as like break in or break out and you're at like 6 yards and the defender doesn't necessarily realize that, then you're probably going to get called on a holding penalty.
Again, it was a comeback, so he just.
I want to share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show. I got it up on Twitter. I'm gonna share it right here. Was this it?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it was that touch that they were saying right. We'll see it again. Right. It wasn't there. It was here that they said that he was pulling on him.
That's a ticky-tack call, man. That's all I'm just saying.
It's a ticky-tack call, but it's also one of those calls
ticky-tack, but
it's the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying. This is the Super Bowl.
But I'm like, if you're gonna call that in the regular season in the playoffs, then you gotta call it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's the Super Bowl. If it was thrown to him, I would say throw it, but it wasn't even thrown to him.
That's where I feel like your gripe is like valid.
Yeah. No, and the fact that
it literally changed the game though. It changed the game.
It did.
Literally, it's an interception. It's 7-3 interception.
And it was like a third and medium too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
then they go down, and then Gronk gets his second touchdown.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he didn't hammer Gronk to score a touchdown.
Yeah, I probably should have. But all right, so that's number one. Number two, I'm gonna bring up that Mike Evans one.
The one where the guy tripped him?
The trip.
That wasn't a trip.
He tripped him.
But no. Listen. To my understanding of the rule, if your feet tangle and like they hit each other, then it's not pass interference. And that's what happened at first. Yes, he fell into him, but
that was the guy who hit his feet.
But that's the reason why they hit feet. They hit feet. So that's not a penalty.
It's a penalty because the guy hit his feet. And then as he was falling, he then reached out and still grabbed his feet.
But that's the point though. But in the rule book, I believe if your feet hit, then it's not a penalty.
No,
but
it wasn't like like he didn't cause it himself.
Feet hit, and he had just done this on the sidelines like a slide. Like he was going on a slip and slide. But he went like this, dude. He grabbed.
He literally reached out for his feet after he hit him.
Can you bring up this? I just want you to show it. Like,
and I'm like, really can't people are saying the pass was uncatchable, but like,
also it is uncatchable.
But you can't say that like Mike Evans, who's like 6'5", and if he dove out, that it might not have hit like his fingertip if he wasn't like tripped up.
All right, and then the second point on this play. Most times I see players hit feet. I don't see nothing, and like the same thing happens. I don't see the call made. So that's what I'm saying. I just want consistency. You know what I'm saying?
If the guy hit his feet and didn't dive afterwards and grabbed his feet again,
he's falling.
I'm trying to find this right now. I wish I was like Jamie from the.
I swear
JRE,
it's in the
bro.
rule book. I swear there's a thing in the rule book. I just wanted to point that out.
After his feet hit Mike Evans' feet, he went full send as far as tripping this guy up.
Again, he's falling forward.
And I feel like nobody complained about the fact that the flag was called because of the guy hitting his feet. It's the fact that to some people that the pass seems so uncatchable.
Well, yeah,
that, like that shouldn't have mattered.
Yeah,
it's 10 yards down the field. But
I can't find that play.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
we'll
if you want,
just
put it in the vid. And then the third one, Tyrann Mathieu again.
That
Mike Evans.
That was
one in the end zone.
That was definitely pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely pass interference.
That one's uncatchable too.
He literally obstructed his movement.
But look where the ball lands.
He landed for Mike Evans. That's catchable.
That's not catchable. It literally hits the back padding.
But here's the thing. Okay, here's my thing.
Jump ball.
If you look at the penalty, if you look at the replay, he was doing that before the ball was thrown. So at that point, there's no uncatchable or catchable ball. After that
but they called pass interference.
An uncatchable ball was thrown.
That's because he has to throw it in the vicinity of the receiver in order for the ref to actually consider, okay, this is definitely pass interference.
But if it's pass interference, then you gotta say, is the ball catchable or not? And that ball is just not catchable. Even for Mike Evans, who can just jump, dunk a ball, that's uncatchable.
But it's not the point of whether or not it's catchable. It's the fact that like it was pass interference before the ball was thrown.
So then it's not pass interference.
But you have to put the ball in the vicinity of the receiver. So Tom Brady saw this penalty and just made sure to put the ball in the vicinity of the receiver, like where he should have been if he wasn't interfered with, in order to get that flag. Otherwise, he just would have been holding.
So based on what you're saying, that should be illegal contact, not pass interference.
It should have been illegal contact or holding if Tom Brady had held onto the ball longer.
It was like a simultaneous type thing, to be honest.
Because I'm like, I feel like Tom Brady saw this happening and was like, okay, I'm going to get the ball over there so that we can get that PA call.
Obviously, we'll have this video in the video.
Yeah,
like,
I know. I was trying to find that quick, though, so we can look over it.
I don't know. It's just what I see.
Okay. So if it was so egregiously bad, like, yeah, say the Chiefs at that point, what was it, 9-13 or something like that, at that point in the game, the touchdown the Bucks scored didn't put the Chiefs out of the game. The Chiefs put themselves
14-3.
14-3?
Yeah, 14-3.
That didn't put them out of the game at all. They're the Chiefs. The thing that put them out of the game was only scoring 6 more points the rest of the game.
I actually just remembered another penalty, the offside one. They didn't give us an angle to see offside if it was offside or not.
Oh, JPP?
No. Oh. On the field goal.
There's offside on the field goal.
Yeah, 4th and 5.
Yeah, I feel like I missed that.
The field goal flag.
Oh yeah,
offside. And then they want to show us some bogus ass angle, like how we could see that it's offside.
Let's be honest though, the Chiefs have had problems when it comes to being offside in the playoffs before.
I know, but still, like
let's be honest here. They would have been going for a 3-peat if Chris Jones was an offsides in AFC Championship game versus Tom Brady.
Mike, I'll send you a picture so you can also add into this.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to call that offside, but then I'll show you this picture. You can put it up right now. Buccaneers player on defense clearly has his head over the ball offside.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, were these penalties we can argue a few of them really affected the game, but
they really did.
If you take away 3 touchdowns off of those penalties, the Bucs still win.
I feel like when you get the brakes beaten off you can't say you lost the game because of penalties.
I know. I'm not gonna say that the Chiefs obviously win that game.
They got dog walked.
Yeah, but it would be a different game. Like, field goal here, field goal there.
They couldn't score a touchdown.
28-6 instead of 31-9 or something.
I know what you guys are saying.
They got taken out to the pasture and put out of their misery.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a different game if these calls are made or not made. I'm just saying.
Think about it.
Mice and men. Tom Brady was saying, think about the rabbits, and he shot Patrick Mahomes in the head.
Tom Brady only threw for 201 yards?
Yeah.
The rest of the yards came on the ground. They could have stopped the run to save their life.
They could not stop the run.
I swear to God, I think I don't know if I texted you guys this. I was like, all these AFC teams needed was a running back to beat this team?
Yes.
Because Fournette was, oh my God, he looked like freaking prime Fournette from 2017, that big AFC championship team they had.
Hot take. They should trade Ronald Jones and just re-sign Leonard Fournette.
100%.
Yeah. I love that.
Ronald Jones can't catch a ball.
Exactly. Oh, and then
at all.
Yo, you saw Todd Gurley, what he said? He said, you got a bald running back and you don't put him in on the goal line? What are you doing? He had 4 attempts and he didn't get in.
I literally said, I'm just like, man, if Uncle Lenny was in the game, he would have gotten that.
He would have easily got that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, at no point did you not think, reach? Like, just stick it out? Because, like, when you're running the ball, all you need to do is break the plane. It doesn't matter if you fumble afterwards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bro. I mean, shout out to Tampa Bay. Tom Brady, you are the GOAT now.
He was good
before. I think it's solidified. I don't think anybody's going to catch him now.
So. I'm still going to pat my back for having picked the Bucs. And for the simple fact, I was like, the main matchup here, the Bucs D-line versus the Kansas City offensive line. And that's literally what we saw all freaking game.
Yeah.
Man, if New York State had legalized sports betting, I would have taken Vegas to town.
You should have just told me I could head over to Jersey.
Shit.
All right. So that's the Super Bowl. Now we got the off season, man. This is going to be a long off season. But first, before we get to the off season in a later video, all the awards came out, I believe it was Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start off with that. We'll discuss, who won and if we actually think someone else should have won the award. So we'll start off at MVP. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers won. I mean, I feel like it was not there was I think it was a 2-horse race really all season, and Aaron Rodgers just separated himself. I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think A-Rod deserved that, especially as an older guy. He pieced it up, and to a point you were like, okay, is Josh Allen a better quarterback? Better quarterback, not better team.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, you can't find a quarterback as good as Aaron Rodgers this year.
Or even if he had a better season.
Yeah.
Because I feel like probably just because of having played fantasy.
Yeah.
Anybody who owned Josh Allen, there was really like a stretch in which that guy sucked ass.
Yeah.
And they actually somehow voted him fantasy MVP somehow. I was like, I don't know about that.
Overrated.
It's
Overrated of a fantasy player.
Because he came up clutch towards the end of the season.
I guess.
Rodgers was a perfect pick.
Yeah. Justin?
I feel like the only way you could have gone was either Aaron Rodgers or like Derrick Henry. Because I feel like it ended up being like a 2-horse race as far as like people wanting to choose between Aaron Rodgers and like Pat Mahomes. But I feel like Patrick Mahomes, unless he threw 50 touchdowns again or broke Brady's touchdown to interception ratio, unless he did one of those two things, he was going to win MVP because the season he won, it was like a record-breaking, super impressive season.
Yeah.
And this season just wasn't that.
Not to mention his first year as a starter, too.
Right. And like the only other person I consider that could have even given like Aaron Rodgers a run for his money as far as MVP was Derrick Henry. And I know they probably vote on this before the playoffs, but like the way you saw Derrick Henry get shut the hell down by the Ravens in the playoffs, I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. Plus, it's hard to give him MVP, in my opinion, because the only reason he has these stats is simply because of volume. Like he is the only running back in the NFL that will be given north of 25 carries, almost 30 carries a game. Most get somewhere in the teens or like high teens.
Yeah. I mean, he ran the ball 378 times and got 2,027 yards. I don't know what the math is.
If you ran that many times and didn't get 2,000 yards, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I mean, dude is built like my car. Like I'd be giving him the ball that much too.
He's a D lineman. No, he's a defensive end playing running back.
He's a defensive end on trend playing running back.
And I mean, I think that picture with him and Mark Ingram just describes him perfectly when he was on Alabama. And talking about Derrick Henry, he was Offensive Player of the Year.
That's fair.
Yeah,
it is fair. Like, like nobody really gets 2,000 yards rushing anymore. Like that's a real hard thing to do. Most people get 2,000 yards combined. He just did it rushing. I mean,
who was the last guy? Adrian Peterson in his MVP season?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's not like you don't really see this that often.
No.
And so, I mean, shout out to him. We're always going to be reminded of that stiff arm of Josh Norman.
Not only to Josh Norman, he did it to 2 other guys. It just wasn't as big.
To be honest, everybody,
Dude, he tossed that one dude on the Lions was like a 4th-string cornerback. Yep. And that was like his 2nd snap of his career, and he just got sent. I'm retiring after that.
Yeah. And one more stat to add into that. Henry rushed for 200 or more yards and 2 rushing touchdowns in a game for 3 times this season. Just to add that in there.
But also, like, if you get within like the 5, you're just gonna give it to him regardless.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're inside the 10, you give it to him regardless.
Yeah.
So
shout out to if I'm within like 90 yards of the goal line, I'm giving it to him because he could just do that. He could just
we've seen it.
Yeah. Once he gets going, you ain't catching him. So shout out to Derrick Henry, Offensive Player of the Year. Now I'm gonna say this is probably the most controversial one.
TJ got robbed.
I support Donald.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Now, most people are saying TJ Watt should have won. I'll join Justin on that and say he should have won. And I'll just add out like what plain is, like butter. You just look at the stats, and TJ had better stats in one less game. Yeah. I'll just simply put that. Mike, you can defend your guy real quick.
All right. So first of all, the main reason I think Donald, the first thing I'm gonna bring up 3 things. versus position. So Donald's a D lineman as opposed to Watt being a linebacker. When you're a D lineman, you don't get to face run plays and you face the quarterback, right? You don't face passes. So you're going to get more tackles, more tackles for loss if you're covering like a screenplay or you're doing something like that. So first of all, I believe that Watt's an amazing player, but his position affords him more opportunities to make plays and get tackles. Second thing, Aaron Donald had one of the highest double team rates of anyone in the league, but he also had one of the highest double team rates, and then also his pass rush win rate was one of the highest too. So I believe there's a graph that is on SportsCenter or something, and it shows right where he is and then a clump of other NFL players. So he was on a position with less volume, getting double teamed like crazy and still winning his matchups at a rate significantly higher than anyone in the league. And then I think my third thing would probably be narrative around it, because that factors in as much as people don't want to admit it. So you took the number one defense to Seattle and you upset the Seahawks and you were on Russell Wilson's head the entire game. So when you look at just him being a leader, being a force, I got to give it to Aaron Donald.
All right, Justin. Tell him what's up.
I just feel like, for starters, Aaron Donald already had 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards before this.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like his season wasn't so impressive that it merited giving him a third over TJ Watt.
Yeah.
Because like you heard about this guy week in, week out. This was practically his breakout season.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that deserved to be rewarded, especially since the Steelers were like the number 1 defense in the NFL for most of the season until like the Rams overtook them.
Yeah.
But they still finished as a top 5 defense. They're just like the Rams defense. They were the best part of that team. But at the same time, TJ didn't have freaking Jalen Ramsey roaming all over the field for him. So I just feel like TJ deserved that award. Don't get me wrong, Aaron Donald's amazing. But like DJ, given the fact that he's a linebacker playing on the edge, I give you that he has more opportunities. But at the same time, he capitalized on those opportunities.
Yeah. I'm pulling up their roster. They do got some really good. They got an underrated secondary in Pittsburgh, though. They don't have a brand
100%.
Like Jalen Ramsey, but they got good corners.
Yeah, I mean, Defensive Player of the Year, controversial, but Aaron Donald got that win. So
plus somebody needed to be rewarded on the Steelers. They did start the season off like 11-0.
Yeah,
like somebody needed to be rewarded.
And
we all know they weren't 11-0 because of their offense.
But they were one of the worst 11-0 teams I've ever seen.
100%. And it was their defense that carried them.
Yeah.
And who was the captain of that defense?
But
TJ Watt.
Even when they needed their defense, like against Cleveland in like 2 starters, they barely squeaked by them because of that too.
Do we really know? Wait, didn't the Rams lose to the Jets?
The Rams did lose to the Jets.
So did the Seahawks.
And I'm pretty sure Aaron Donald played that game too.
He definitely did.
It was a 3-point game.
At home.
Yeah.
Oh no, they were getting the brakes being off them for a little bit. Then they came back.
Yeah. Then they couldn't close it out.
Nope. Can you really give somebody Defensive Player of the Year after they lost to the Jets?
I feel like that should just take it away from him automatically. But I'll just read out some stats that ESPN's laying out. What's it called? Created the first pass rush pressure on 98 plays, ranked second. He had 21% pass rush win rate against double teams, first among D tackles. And so good for him, winning on his double teams. That probably won him the award. So shout out to him, Defensive Player of the Year. All right, now we're on the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I mean, it's another touchy one, but I can see how you can give it to Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert obviously won the award. You just look at his stats. Obviously, it warrants the award. Not like they just gave it to him with not having any stats. He did throw for 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, only 10 interceptions. So at the 3-1 rate.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, I really think they should have given this to Justin Jefferson, man. Just in my opinion, you'll look at his stats remember, he has Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins he gets shit on a little too much.
Kirk Cousins as his quarterback, plus Dalvin Cook's the running back.
Yeah.
They rarely throw the ball, and when they do, it's not like
he's the
Kirk
second
Cousins
option too.
Yeah, and he's the second option. Just listen to these stats. This is his rookie year, remember. And he what was he the fourth? He was the fourth wide receiver taken, right?
I
believe so, right? It was fourth or fifth.
Yeah, he was taken a lot. He was taken before.
So we had Jerry Jeudy, Ruggs, CD. I'm pretty sure Rager went before him.
Yeah, and then so he was the fifth wide receiver taken. 88 receptions, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns.
It was like they didn't even trade Stephon Diggs.
I'm pretty sure he broke Randy Moss's rookie receiving record too.
Yes. He averaged 16 yards basically a catch, and he made All-Pro. He was an All-Pro in his rookie year. Just like the last time I seen a wide receiver have this kind of rookie season was Odell Beckham, and I don't believe he made All-Pro. So I just think, in my opinion, just that All-Pro alone, like, you know how hard it is for a wide receiver to make All-Pro, and he did it as a rookie,
especially in such a big passing league too.
And his team's not even rush. His team is a rushing team.
Mm-hmm.
Literally until you brought it up, I didn't think twice about Justin Herbert getting Rookie of the Year or Offensive Rookie of the Year. Literally didn't think twice about it until you brought up Justin Jefferson. Yeah. I just feel like it's because he plays in freaking Minnesota, so no one really paid.
Yeah, I think it was that.
I just really think it is, yeah.
And first, like, I think Herbert, I think it could have gone to either guy, but it would have ultimately, in my opinion, come down to if Burrow would have been healthy, Burrow and Jefferson, because Justin Herbert kind of got put into a situation where
it's the narrative that helped him out too.
Yeah, it was the narrative. And first of all, because it was that passing of the guard with Phillip Rivers and how they had Tyrod Taylor playing like shit. But
then his fucking lung got punctured by the doctor.
Yeah, he got plopped onto a roster with like one of the best receiving cores, a great tandem of running backs, and a pretty okay line. Like, he had a good team around him.
Justin, I see your hand up.
Yes.
What team are we talking about here with one of the best receiving cores?
I'm not saying
they
one
have
of the best,
Keenan Allen.
but well-rounded.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest here.
Yeah.
Outside of Keenan Allen, their receivers are buns.
Mike Williams is just elite.
This man is oft injured and literally shows up maybe every 3 games.
Yeah.
Their next best receiver after Keenan Allen is Austin Eckler, and he's the fucking running back.
And he was injured most of the year.
Yeah. They need receivers.
They do.
I just want to. Yeah.
It's just I feel like it was just a better situation for Herbert. And 100%. Jefferson was a surprise. Herbert, you thought, could be really good.
He wasn't even supposed to be the 2 this year.
Yeah, Jefferson was like
3 maybe.
Yeah, Jefferson was just one of those guys like, oh, we got to fill a roster spot. It's a need. He wasn't supposed to be
play the
all
slot.
pro.
Yeah, he'll play the slot this year.
Yeah.
And then he became the number 2 option. But I also think, just in Herbert's favorite, not as the narrative definitely went his way. But I think it's position went his way.
Yeah.
I mean, just putting up those numbers as a quarterback, that's a really good year. But as a rookie, it's a great year.
Yeah.
And shout out to Jefferson. He really took that doctor. You know, I swear he probably gave that doctor like $10 or something. He was like, yo, just stab him in the lung real quick. Come on, man. It's just he put up those numbers. And I'm not mad that he won. Like, you know, those numbers deserve it. Yeah. I just think Justin Jefferson just had a way better year. Just you look at his stats based on what wide receivers do as a rookie. Even when they're like normal.
I honestly thought he was going to gritty his way to Rookie of the Year.
Yo, come on, throw them up. But, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I could see Justin Herbert winning it. I just think, in my opinion, you know, Jefferson should have won. But, you know, shout out to Justin Herbert.
Honestly, I feel like some of the rest of these are pretty cut and dry. Like Defensive Rookie of the Year, like
Chase Young.
Yeah. As far as like Comeback Player of the Year, obviously you're gonna go with Alex Smith.
Alex Smith and his bionic leg.
Yeah, the only other guy you could have picked was maybe like Ben Roethlisberger, but he sucked ass towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
I just want to bring up one thing about Alex Smith. Just play devil's advocate. I think he should have won it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't all that impressive.
I was about to say, yeah.
But like the only reason he won it is because he came back from the injury.
Yeah.
It's not like he played.
Like, think about
did anything
literally
on the
it.
field.
That's literally it. Because he wasn't all that impressive. And they just so happened to have won 5 games with him starting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who was the other option?
And they didn't win because
Dwayne Haskins?
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins?
He's not even on the team.
Exactly. And who the fuck was the other guy who they were trying to start?
It was like, okay, like a comeback player, like it's all about narrative. Like Michael Vick went to jail. He went to jail and came back and had like a Pro Bowl season. He was playing against.
I don't remember that. They better have given him that award.
They did.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, they gave him that award.
He was on his Akon shit, locked up, came out, was an all-pro, slinging the rocket shit as a left.
He learned how to throw the ball,
avoid shanks, and then all of a sudden he was lacing it up.
Yeah, I mean, again, when he came back, and like he made the roster as the backup, even then people are like, comeback player of the year. But in my head, I'm like, it's good and all. He came back, but he's not even playing.
Like, we're not trying to like shit on.
I'm not trying to. I'm not. He really put 17 surgeries on your leg. Like
and you almost died too. Like
yes. Have you seen that documentary?
Dog, that shit looked nasty.
You saw how bad
that looked nasty
how hard it was for him to come back. Even a comeback.
That was your boy.
So I mean, like, shout out. He came back. Shout out to him.
Like, good for you. You came back. You weren't all that impressive, but you came back.
Yes. Yeah. And to be honest,
for the love of me, you couldn't get freaking Terry McLaurin the ball often enough, but you came back.
Antonio Gibson? Come on.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
you literally single-handedly sunk my fantasy team. Like, shit, at least Dwayne Haskins got Terry McLaurin the ball, but good for you. Good for you. You came back.
Man, that was the thing was, like, I feel like it had to go to him, but at the same time, it was like.
But it's not like anybody else really.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is Alex? It kind of.
Like I said, the only other person that could have deserved it was Ben Roethlisberger, and he sucked ass.
Yeah.
I mean, last thing I'll say is, like, most people won't even come back from the surgery. Like, probably he's like one. He's probably like the 1%ers that would come back for it. So you know what? Shout out to him, Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, though. No jokes. Jokes aside, he does not look well. Like, that does not look healthy.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even sure if he's gonna be on this roster. I'm not even sure if he's gonna be the backup to somebody. He might be a third string QB. He certainly ain't a starter.
I definitely would keep him around though.
I definitely would start Taylor Heineke over him.
Yeah, no, definitely would. But I would keep.
Heineke looked like the white Michael Vick out there.
He should be like a quarterback coach / third string quarterback. Just in case they need him, then you throw
Heineke was running around there like a white Lamar Jackson out in the playoff game.
Yo, he showed he had heart when he dove from the 5 and still fucking got in.
Yeah. I was like, this man, he got wheels.
Man. All right. That's comeback player of the year. And on to the last one. Coach of the year. And to be honest, the only other one you could have said was Ron Rivera, just for getting into the playoffs and him having cancer.
I feel like giving it to him would be the same sort of like underlying sort of like feel good story as giving Alex Smith comeback player of the year. I'm like, we already had one. Like, here, we already gave y'all one. Let's actually get back to like actual football now.
And like, you just
you're not gonna give anybody an award from the AFC for the NFC East because they sucked ass the entire season. They made the playoffs with a losing record. You ain't gonna get coach of the year for that.
I would have said if the Giants got to 9-7, Joe Judge probably could have been like really number 2. But we all kind of knew this was going to Kevin Stefanski from the Browns. Like, it really was just Kevin Stefanski's award, man.
Did you really just say Joe Judge? Really?
Look, if they got 9-7, he could have been in the discussion. But it was always gonna go to Kevin Stefanski. I'm not gonna take it away from him. It's the Browns. He really just turned the Browns into an 11-5 team. Baker Mayfield's the quarterback.
If MCDC did not go to Detroit and started talking about gnawing off kneecaps, I feel like Joe Judge literally would be the guy to be telling you, yeah, let's go bite off some motherfucking kneecaps.
Yeah.
He'd be that guy.
Hey, man.
I feel like Brian Flores should have gotten freaking coach of the year.
Now, if they made the playoffs, he would have definitely won. He would have won it if they made the playoffs. He definitely probably would have won it over Kevin Stefanski. But since he didn't,
Stefanski getting it because like the Browns were a reclamation project. Baker Mayfield still is a reclamation project, but at least he was able to keep him within like a 3x3 box, and it's like, okay, if you go out of this box, we're gonna lose. If you stay in this box, we have a chance of winning.
Baker just
every time he went outside of this box, it started being like, okay, I got this shit. Started slinging the rock and shit.
I swear to God,
he's throwing picks. He was fumbling. Shit was not going good. He stayed inside this box, ran the occasional bootleg, some play action.
He got that shot
off to any one of his 2 freaking all-pro level running backs. Everything was all good.
Man, they must have had an electric fence on the 2 guards because I swear to God, he was getting electrocuted or something because he never left that area.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Say. But yeah, man, I mean, like Cleveland, again, like we all remember it. Like, it's Cleveland. Like, you know what? To be honest, even with them making the playoffs, they're still the Browns. Until they do it consistently, they're still the Browns. Like, we're not gonna forget all those years. Like, y'all were trash just because you got 11-5 years. Mm-hmm. Now, if you guys, if you consistently make the playoffs, get 10 wins, then that might change the narrative. But
I ain't gonna be consistent with freaking Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. No. Well, if Baker could, duplicate what he did this year and to next year, Cleveland might have something.
Stay inside that box. Stay inside that box and beat Kirk Cousins. Stay inside that box and beat Kirk Cousins.
Stay inside. Hand the ball off.
Be the second coming of Kirk Cousins, except shorter.
Baker, hand off. Come on, Baker, hand off. Hand that ball off.
Hey, Baker, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Yep. And those are all the awards. I'd like to touch on the Hall of Fame real quick. A couple of names that made the Hall of Fame. Our boy Charles Woodson. I'll shout out to him. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but you look at all his like accolades and stats, and he really has like the accolades to be the best defensive back like of all time. You just look at all the awards he's won. He's literally won everything. I don't know. That might be a hot take for me, but he's definitely up there. Justin, don't make that face at me. Look at his stats. He's literally won everything. Don't do it.
Over Prime?
Prime? I'm just saying. Did Prime win a Heisman?
We don't give a shit about college. Tom Brady went to Michigan, was a 6th-round pick, and he's a GOAT. Nobody gives a shit about college.
Hey, I was saying just based off his accolades of his whole career, he's up there.
Nobody gives a shit about college.
Hey, man. All right, so let's go to the...
Nobody knew Tom Brady existed when he was in college.
He won everything in the NFL.
Tom Brady was just another white dude at Michigan. Nobody knew this man existed.
Just saying.
He's considered the GOAT because of the NFL.
Mike, I want you right now. Put his accolades on the screen.
Plus,
and we'll just let everybody else decide.
Wasn't Prime a freaking Heisman finalist at least when he was in college at Florida State?
He didn't win it.
Who gives a shit if you win it?
He didn't win it.
Marcus Mariota won a Heisman. He sucks ass. Did Jameis Winston win one? He sucks too.
Come on, man. Get them fucking crabs.
He sucks too.
Let's eat a dub.
Eat a dub, man. The guy was trying to eat a dub and he didn't do shit in the game. He was eating dubs in New Orleans. I'm like, dog, the fuck you do?
Hey, he's gonna be the starter now. He got eyes now. He got surgery on his eyes. He can see now. He can see now.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It's like giving a fish a high five for knowing how to swim. You would expect your quarterback to be able to see somebody or see the difference between 2 jerseys.
It's like that Peter Parker, like a fucking meme where he's just like, huh? And he takes them off and you're like, oh, I can see now.
But Prime, literally,
2-time
Super Bowl champion.
Hey,
guy played fucking baseball.
I'm not saying he was clearly number 1. I said he was up there.
If you want to say Prime, and then
here's
up there.
I'm not having that. I'm not having that. We're gonna have that discussion.
Congratulations to Charles Woodson for having what was like 40 plus interceptions and 20 plus sacks, or some impressive shit like that. He's the only DB to have that kind of stat. But at the same time, he ain't prime.
Hey man, Mike, you're just sitting there quiet. You're not even back.
What's the only Super Bowl he won was towards the end of his career. Nobody even remembers Charles Woodson on the Packers.
Yo, Mike, come on.
I'm losing my shit right now. I agree with Justin. I think
come on.
He's not the best. He's one of the most
accomplished. I didn't say best. I said he was up there based on his accolades.
No, you said he was the best.
I said based on his accolades.
You said he was up there with prime.
He's one of the most accomplished. We're not saying he's not great, but he's not prime.
No. That's just my opinion.
Prime was out here returning punts. He was out here playing receiver. He even had time to go play baseball.
Dude, I think he had this crazy stat where he hit a touchdown. He hit a home run and scored a touchdown in the same week or some shit.
Yes! He played in the World Series at the same time he was playing in the NFL.
All right. We'll put that on the back burner. Calvin Johnson also made the Hall of Fame. And I mean, shout out to him. Well, I believe
even
I saw
though the freaking Lions wasted away his career, but good for him.
Yeah, just like another person who's on this list of he's the third player all time to be enshrined at 35 years or younger. I wonder who else is on that list.
Gil Sayers.
Barry Sanders.
Oh,
Barry
yeah.
Sanders.
Yeah, we had
Come on, Lions, y'all fucking up.
My uncle.
Hey, at least they know how to draft. Yeah. Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But
once a year,
come on.
But even then, like, we never get the first pick. There's always like a bust in front of us, and then we pick the guy. That's what happened with Jamarcus and Calvin. I guarantee you, we're picking Jamarcus if we got the first overall pick in that draft. We're not taking Calvin. We're not taking AD.
Damn, sounds like y'all got Bill Belichick as a GM.
My uncle got into Calvin Johnson's house, though. That was pretty cool.
And then,
Peyton.
Yeah, Peyton. I mean, I didn't.
That's pretty freaking obvious.
Yeah, I didn't know when he was up because I didn't know how many years it was, but we all knew once he was up for the all.
Speaking of Peyton, he didn't even win a fucking Heisman.
Okay.
And you out here talking about Charles Woodson.
Hold up. What year was he drafted?
98, 99?
99.
Peyton, his Heisman, he was a Heisman finalist the same year Desmond Howard won his, right?
Oh, well, I'm not taking anything away from Desmond Howard. He definitely won that.
Oh, 100%. But at the same time, nobody gives a shit about Desmond Howard. He got to
no.
Happened.
He was the same year as Charles Woodson.
Oh, hell no. They gave it to Charles Woodson over Peyton, over Randy.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Over Randy.
And nobody gives a shit about freaking Charles Woodson. You get to the NFL, you saw what the fuck Peyton did? You saw what Randy did?
Didn't Randy Moss play at like fucking Eastern Carolina too?
No, yeah, he played Marshall. He played for Marshall.
What the fuck is Marshall?
And he was a Heisman finalist. How the hell do you go to Marshall and become a Heisman finalist? You have to be freaking unreal. That's like freaking playing at Williams and being a Heisman finalist.
That's like playing at Alabama and freaking winning a national championship in basketball, dog.
Oh man. What's it called? So let's see. So yeah, and then I'll shout out Drew Pearson. Finally.
Who?
Drew Pearson from the Cowboys. Remember last year he was crying because he didn't make the
Oh, that dude who was the only white dude who was on all the teams.
No, it was the black dude. Come on, bro.
I was thinking about that one white receiver.
He's from the
every other receiver.
He's literally he was the only player from the all 1970s team that not make the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
So you're finally in, bro. Even though you're a Cowboy, shout out to you.
For the boys.
You just learned who he was. What do you mean for the boys?
Yeah, exactly.
He clearly wasn't that important. If it's taking him this long to get to the Hall of Fame, he clearly wasn't that important.
Imagine waiting 50 years to get in the Hall of Fame, bro.
Dog, like clearly you weren't all that impressive.
I think the biggest mindfuck would be Calvin Johnson, who was drafted in 2007, and Peyton Manning, who was drafted in like 1997, are the same Hall of Fame class. That just really shows how early Calvin's career ended.
Yeah, bro. Crazy.
I would have quit too.
I would have. Hey, he resigned with us in 2011. That was his fault, though.
Yeah,
He could have went anyway.
Asses didn't want to give him his money once he retired.
Yeah, he hates the Lions now. That's what I don't
Y'all
like.
did
He
the
hates
same
us.
shit to Barry.
I know. He's like, can I just have my money? They're like, no.
Come on,
We
y'all.
own Ford.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say, y'all own Ford.
We owned the biggest, most successful car company ever.
Come on.
The
You're fucking
headquarters,
up.
like 10 minutes from my house, is like 20 stories tall.
Cheap fucks.
Yeah. That's how we're gonna end it too. You know,
Yeah.
just because of that, like fucking cheap ass Detroit Lions, and that's why you guys lose on fucking
Lions are
Thanksgiving
ass.
all the time. That's
I'm
why you guys
not
lose
mad
on
about
Thanksgiving.
Lions.
No. That's why they are the worst fucking franchise in NFL football. They are the WOT.
Shout out the WOT.
Shout out to. Never mind. So the WOT.
Yep, they the WOT. That's your franchise. And look, are you wearing your Jets shirt? Are you wearing your Jets shirt?
The Jets have more promise than the.
No, I'm wearing my team rehabilitation shirt. Shout out to my physical therapist.
You should send the Detroit Lions there.
Yeah, just to let everybody know, Mike just didn't hate himself enough, so he bought a Jets t-shirt for his boy Salah. So now he's a Lions fan and somewhat a Jets fan.
I'm not gonna lie, the Jets
I
have
pray
more
for your
promise than the
soul,
Lions, but at the same time, they suck too.
Yeah, I pray for you.
It's my boy Allen. I got a rep for my boy Allen. My boy Allen Robert Saleh.
Hey man, that's how we're gonna end it. So we'll see y'all in the next episode, fam.